The Young and the Restless. Diane gets a mysterious text message, and Summer challenges Kyle about his secret keeping. We see Kyle putting the finishing touches on Summer's surprise party, Nick finally opening up to his mom, and some steamy moments between Chance and Abby on today's episode of The Young and the Restless. Tracy convinces Kyle that having the wedding celebration in their hometown is the most romantic option while at the Abbott mansion. She thinks he wants to keep this a secret from his future wife. As Summer walks in, the conversation shifts to hockey. She assumes they are hiding something and demands to know the truth. Summer thinks it has anything to do with the piece. It's clear that Kyle has no idea what to do. A pretext is made by Tracy and she leaves. The article is shown to him by his wife. The thought of his mother's embarrassment fills him with shame. Atop the GCHC, Nick joins Adam at the bar. Adam inquires as to how he is settling into his new position at Jebot. His sibling gives a harsh assurance that he is doing OK. In fact, Adam is genuinely concerned about how he is holding up and is merely being courteous. Yes, I will prevail. Nick acknowledges, I know it won't happen overnight. His sibling urges him to reach out to others for help. Nick sighs and insists that he is not a child and that he is not trying to suppress his memories. Adam strongly suggests that he ask Sharon for a referral to a trusted friend or family member who can help him work through his emotions. Nick is not yet prepared for that. He doesn't want to go into detail with a complete stranger. For as long as he waits, his brother says, his demons will only get stronger. Adam worries that Nick will end up just like him, and he doesn't want that. Chloe visits Sally in her workplace to obtain a signature. Sally mentions her interference with Adam. Her buddy realizes he is luring her back and accuses Adam of trying to come between them. Sally claims that his only request is for her to forgive him. Chloe isn't too fond of that idea. Her friend has asked her to stop being so judgmental. In Sally's eyes, Adam isn't malicious, but rather confused. He's a broken piece. He has no idea how to behave normally, Chloe explains. Chelsea had high hopes that she could mend him, but look how that turned out for her. Sally points out that she and her boyfriend, Mike, almost broke up because she was constantly bugging Chelsea about Adam. I am here as a buddy. That's not Adam, Chloe explains. At Chancellor Park, where Chance and Abby are having a picnic, he gushes over her meticulous planning and culinary skills. She opens the basket and realizes she's brought the things she packed for Dominic instead. The nanny has left with her bag of baguette and bottle of vintage wine. That's just funny to them. She compliments his adorableness as he offers her a goldfish cracker from the basket. They share a passionate kiss, during which he expresses his gratitude to her for protecting them at all times. Because of her, he considers himself very fortunate. They have progressed past the good stage, and he has overcome his ethical dilemma. After making out in the hallway, Chance and Abby retire to Chance's room for some intimate sexual activity. After that, they return to their lounging and discuss returning to their normal, couple-centered lives. After some more playful banter, she acknowledges that she would prefer that he handle less dangerous situations. When he's in the office, she starts to get anxious. He isn't ignoring her, but she thinks they'll be happy if they put their family first. Nikki, Phyllis, and Talia are discussing the Diane piece on the patio of the Crimson Light. They are completely satisfied, and they think Morgan is an excellent author. As far as Phyllis is concerned, this will finally open people's eyes to the truth about Diane. A harsh spotlight is suddenly shining on her. Diane will break down emotionally as a result of the impending verdict. Talia informs them that they've received an overwhelmingly positive response and that listeners are phoning in with suggestions. Where this goes from here is anyone's guess. Suddenly, Talia receives a text from her managing editor telling her the stunning news that the entire series has been canceled and no further stories will be written about Diane Jenkins. At Jibot, Diane receives a message reading, "Future articles killed. I'm owed by you." When Jack comes upon her, she has a bewildered expression on her face. She explains the plot to him, but he's already watched the film. She is upset that the documentary only highlights the negative aspects of her life and not the redemptive ones. None of Jack's rhetorical flourishes can make up for the brutality of her actions. She can't see the point in dwelling on the past at this point. This whole thing is merely to embarrass her in front of everyone. She believes Phyllis and Nikki are responsible for this unfair situation. They meet in his office, where he notes that whenever she claims she has returned to make atonement, she frames herself as a victim. How this will affect Kyle is a source of concern for her. The work they've done might be jeopardized if this happens. She should give careful consideration to her response. Jack tells her. She's afraid people will form unfavorable opinions of her at work. She thanks him, and then leaves after he tells her not to let the setback derail her. She runs into Phyllis in the hallway, who mocks her for reading the paper. She keeps poking at Diane, despite her insistence that she has accepted her history and that nothing can derail her. The redhead will be unsuccessful in setting off whatever explosion she is planning. Phyllis insists that she doesn't dwell on the woman's vileness and is relieved that the public is aware of her true nature. Diane almost starts crying as Kyle exits the elevator after Phyllis storms out. She and her son have a sit-down conversation about it. She explains to him how hard she has tried to change her past self. He and Jack's worst fears haven't come true about her. Her son has assured her that he is able to tell the difference between the woman in the article and the one she really is. He's going to stand by her no matter what happens. They both shake hands in gratitude. Kyle approaches Jack's assistant Phyllis in his office. He fills her in on his plans for the upcoming party and adds that his mom will be there. Since being near Diane is difficult for her, he proposes to limit their contact with one another. She assures him that she is working through it and that she is in charge. As they are discussing fabrics, Jack walks in. She's overjoyed that they approve of her suggestions. Jack and Phyllis discuss the party strategy after Kyle leaves. They are pleased with how well their children are doing. He wants to know what contribution she made to the piece. Nothing to do with me, what Phyllis asserts. Nick visits the property to talk to his mother. She offers to make them some tea and reassures him that everything will be fine, so presumably she understands what's going on. When they are seated, she explains to him that people have a tendency to ignore the important details after a death. Feelings of guilt increase as you watch everyone else resume their regular lives, but you feel you can't. Exactly what would it entail if he were to finally let go of the weight? He could unwind and concentrate on his work. Part of him, he says, is holding on to the guilt as a form of penance. He has a lot on his mind, but now he feels bad that he judged Adam so severely after learning that Adam killed that man many years ago. In a similar situation, he behaved the same way. Adam has gone out of his way to be there for him in this time of need. Really? Incredulous, Nikki asks. He now understands why Adam is the way he is, and why he avoids close relationships as a result of this. As Adam walks through the park, he spots Sally relaxing on a bench. Because he doesn't want her to feel obligated, he hasn't made any overtly amorous moves toward her. He can only hope that she has given his words some consideration. That goes without saying that I have. She says, I can't stop. His presence has been a major disruption. She has no idea what it would take to forgive. The way she defines it is up to her, he tells her. Sally fears that this might prompt him to take further unilateral action that would completely alter her life. She decides that she just doesn't have the emotional stamina to deal with this right now and leaves. Kyle goes back to the Abbott mansion and makes a call to set up the role. Now that Summer has here, he can get off the line. Now that she knows he's hiding something, she wants him to come clean and spill. He will only reveal that a surprise is in the works. A passionate kiss is shared between them. Phyllis recommends Marchetti home to Jabba so that they can spruce up Jack's home for a picture shoot. He emphasizes that the current state of the house is perfect for him. Phyllis makes a joke to him about the seats appearing to be prehistoric. As long as the props are returned to their original locations after filming, Jack is fine with it. Asked for Phyllis, she says, "Okay, sure, we're up to the task." They begin to make light of the fact that he's always been like Way, and Phyllis places a loving hand on his shoulder as they laugh together. Diane, who is standing nearby and keeping a close eye on the situation, texts the person responsible for the death of the future articles. "Things are still precarious. No need to get in touch with me." Totally unexpected development in Nick's muddled future.